Jonathan Kuminga to the Phoenix Suns is picking up steam. And originally, one of my favorite things that my broadcasting idol Colin Cowherd said was, as you get new information, you're going to change your opinion. And so I originally started with the Jonathan Kuminga stuff. Like, I just don't get it. I understand it's a big, fun, splashy name. It would be a lot of fun, but it doesn't necessarily feel like it's the right fit for the Suns. And with the assets that you would have to send out in a trade, that would be the last of your assets to trade for anyone in at least the next 2 seasons. So I said, it's just not worth it. I wouldn't do it. He's a giant question mark, regardless of what dummies on Twitter try to tell you to say he isn't. If the information we're getting out now, for Jonathan Kuminga is true, the Cardinals now the Suns should not only now explore going after Jonathan Kuminga, they have to go get him. Because now the reporting is the Warriors want Ryan Dunn. No one's really sure if that's necessarily true, but the Suns aren't going to do it anyways. And now it seems like the Suns are begrudgingly keeping Oso Ighodaro out of the equation. Or I guess I should say not so begrudgingly keeping Oso Ighodaro out of the situation. It looks like the Suns are willing to send players like Royce O'Neal, Nick Richards, maybe go send Grayson Allen out in a different deal and get some picks back to send in a deal for Jonathan Kuminga. And if that's the case, you have to do it. Because then in that respect, you're not giving up any assets. Yes, you're giving up second-round picks. However, second-round picks don't move the needle really anymore, and they're incredibly easy to get. Say this year, the Suns don't like the players in this draft. They trade that first-round pick for a few second-round picks, and now they've got a multitude of second-round picks to move around. Second-round picks are easy to come by. You're just sending them basically to make the other teams feel better. However, if the case is you're just sending that for Jonathan Kuminga, you have to do it. It's like going on a car lot, and you already have 2 cars at home. You don't really need another one. But you see another there, and there's just a deal you can't pass up. Sure, do you need that? Probably not. But it's too good of a price and too good of an investment to not say yes to. And Jonathan Kuminga is that car, is that stock that you're buying low on. I have been the one who has said Jonathan Kuminga is a giant question mark, especially offensively. We kind of know what he is defensively. And the Golden State Warriors, one of the greatest head coaches of all time, in Steve Kerr, doesn't trust him in big spots. So when the Suns are being reluctant to add a player like Oso or Ryan Dunn, or really anyone of substance that's going to matter in 5 years, and they're saying, no, we don't want to send those guys out, I kind of get it. Because just like in the Kevin Durant deal, the Rockets know how the Suns feel about Kevin Durant. They know they have to trade him. So they're saying, we'll give you Jalen Green, the 10th overall pick, and Dylan Brooks to make ends meet. But that's all you're getting from us. You've shown your hand. And just like the Rockets to the Suns are doing the same thing to the Golden State Warriors. You don't really want to bring Jonathan Kuminga back. You had 4 years to play him. And in big spots, in big moments, you continuously kept his ass on the bench. You showed your hand. And with reports coming out that you don't want to give him any more than $50 million over 2 years, that's a you issue. Why would the Suns bet against themselves? If the Kings want to be stupid and give up Devin Carter and Malik Monk and a pick for Jonathan Kuminga, go right on ahead and do that. And to be fair, to be completely fair, it could work out. But there's a risk reward here that it comes with Jonathan Kuminga. Let's look at his statistics, guys, just really quickly. Jonathan Kuminga, last year, 15 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists. He's not a great playmaker, statistically speaking. He doesn't go up and get a bunch of boards, and he's a fine scorer. And when you look at his splits, 45% from the field, that's not stellar for a small forward. 30% from 3, meaning you can't hit water if you fell out of a boat, and 66% from free throw. Where is the Jonathan Kuminga for sure superstar I'm getting? As well as, listen, one of the things I really love is true shooting percentage. His true shooting percentage is 58.3 in his career. And last year's league average, or I guess I should say, the league average is 58.1. He is literally the most average, efficient player in the NBA. That's how close he is. He is literally league average. So when the Suns are telling the Rockets, so when the Suns are telling the Warriors, hey, listen, we know how you feel about him. This isn't a restricted free agent like even Josh Giddey or Quentin Grimes or DeAndre Ayton a couple years ago. In fact, that's a really good comparison. The Suns had DeAndre Ayton on a qualifying offer. He was a restricted free agent, and they didn't want to give him a max offer. And they ended up not having to give him that because the Pacers gave him the regular max extension, which was 4 years, $120 million. There was no escalators to it. It didn't grow with the salary cap and take a percentage of cap. And the Suns and the Pacers knew that if they matched that, the Suns were probably going to do that as well. And so with the Jonathan Kuminga thing, if he went out and got an offer sheet for 4 years, $90 million, the Warriors aren't taking that because they don't value Jonathan Kuminga like the Suns value DeAndre Ayton. Like they were hoping no one would give him that offer sheet. So it's now become a, should you go get Jonathan Kuminga to, if the reporting is true and you can get him for not much, you have to go after Jonathan Kuminga. Maybe you're already a day trader or you play with stocks and you're someone who's got a bunch of money and a bunch of stocks, but someone wants to let you into Tesla for a really low price. You don't need another one, but you see the value and the risk reward. So if the Suns can pull a Rockets on the Warriors and know that they don't have that as much leverage as a normal restricted free agency team would have, why would you offer him Oso Ighodaro, Ryan Dunn? That might be what you use in Oso later on down the road to push it across the finish line. So I'm going to be honest with you guys. Jonathan Kuminga, if that's the price, Royce O'Neal, Nick Richards, you move Grayson Allen to get other picks and you add that to the deal and it's mostly second rounders. You get Jonathan Kuminga on a 4-year, $90 million deal, a very tradable contract that you will not be stuck with likely. You have to make that deal. It's become not a want to, but a have to. And then you'll just figure out the starting lineups. You'll have to figure out how it's all going to work on your own accord. But when it is that much of a steal in front of you, that's the deal that you have to make.